If you do these 6 things alone, your intelligence is rarer than you think. You're already saying it out loud to the bathroom mirror at 10:14 on a Tuesday night. Half a sentence that started as something you'd explain to your wife. Now it's an argument you're having with yourself. And you stop, mid-word, because the version of you from 4 seconds ago had it completely wrong. And the strange part is, no one will ever know this happened but you. I want to talk to you about the things you do when you're alone. Not the chores. The other things. The argument with the mirror. The question you carried around for 3 days without answering it. The conversation you replayed at midnight not to feel bad, but to study it. You've been told this is a problem. That you think too much. That you spend too much time alone in your own head. Someone said it kindly once, and it still landed like a verdict, and you half believed them. You filed it under things to fix about yourself. I want to tell you what you actually filed away. You're not too alone. You're a lens that needs silence to focus. That's the whole thing. A lens doesn't work in the noise. It works when everything goes still. Then it finds the edge of what it's looking at. You were never hiding from people in those quiet hours. You were doing the one thing your mind can only do in an empty room. The cost is just that the world almost never gives you the room. And when the room does go empty, you're not alone in it. Not really. 3 of them show up. You can catch them in any mirror at 10 at night, if you know what you're looking for. The watcher. He notices the pattern in how you reacted before you understood why. He goes back to something from years ago and sees it differently than you did when it happened. The wanderer. He sits with a question for days and refuses to answer it badly. He falls down a hole about something useless at midnight, for no reason at all. And the editor. We'll come back to him. He's the one you owe something to. There's a name for the system that does all of this. Not 6 unrelated habits. 1 network. Someone finally argued for it in a peer-reviewed journal. In 2012, neuroscientist Mary Helen Imordino Yang named what your brain does in the quiet. A network that runs your memory, your meaning-making, and your sharpest original thought. She called it the default mode. The work your mind does when no one is asking it to do anything. Which means what you've been calling 6 weird habits is one system, finally given the silence it needs. Part 1. The Watcher. Start with the Watcher. He studies your own reactions like they're data. Something happens, a comment in a meeting, a tone in a text. Most people feel it and move on. You feel it. And then a part of you steps back half a step and asks where that came from, not to judge it, to understand it, and he does something else. He goes back. That thing your father said when you were 19, you understand it completely differently now than you did then. The words didn't change. You did, and the watcher keeps quietly rewriting what the old chapters meant. Most people's past stays frozen at the moment it happened. Yours keeps moving. Part 2. The Wanderer. Then there's the Wanderer. And you've met him. You're already 90 minutes into an article about how French postal carriers organized their routes in 1847. Your wife has been asleep for an hour. The laptop is heating up on your thigh. And you realize you have no idea why you started this. There's no project, no meeting tomorrow. No one will ever ask you about French postal carriers. That's the Wanderer. He follows the thing that pays nothing. He sits with the hard question and refuses the cheap answer just to feel finished. The world calls that a waste. He knows it isn't. And we have to talk about something. Not loud. Just here. In this room with you. Somewhere around 12, someone taught you that being alone with your own mind was something to apologize for. A teacher. A coach. A father who got quiet when you got quiet. You didn't decide that. It was handed to you. And you've been paying it back ever since. Here's what I need you to hear. Your mind was never broken. It was working. The whole time you thought something was wrong with you, it was doing the most demanding thing a mind can do. Doing it where no one could see so no one could tell you to stop. You didn't get worse at being a person. You got good at being one quietly. There's a difference, and almost no one will say it to you out loud. So I will. The quiet was never the problem. The quiet was the workshop. Part 3. The Editor. Now the editor. The one I said you owe something to. Go back to the mirror. 10 at night. Half a sentence in, and you stopped because the version of you from 4 seconds ago had it wrong. And you fixed it before anyone heard the first version. That's the editor. He argues against your own beliefs, not to lose, but to find out if they hold. He catches your reasoning mid-air and changes it without flinching. I'll be honest with you. I still catch myself doing it at the bathroom mirror at 47, and a small part of me still thinks I should be done with this by now. I'm not. Neither are you. Here's what you owe him. You spent years calling him the reason you're too much. He was the reason you were right more often than you ever got credit for. So here's where you actually are. 3 figures, 1 mirror. 1 lens that finally got the silence it needed. The watcher, who sees the pattern and rewrites the past. The wanderer, who follows what pays nothing and waits out the hard question. The editor, who corrects you mid-thought and was right more than you knew. None of them are loud. None of them will ever win you anything in a room full of people. They don't work in rooms full of people. They work in the empty ones. At 10 at night, when you finally stop performing and the lens can focus. 1 thing to carry then. 3 questions. Next time you're alone and your mind won't go quiet, ask which one is working. If you're studying a feeling or rereading an old memory, that's the watcher. If you're sitting with a question that has no payoff and you won't rush it, that's the wanderer. If you just caught yourself being wrong and fixed it before you finished the sentence, that's the editor. You don't have to quiet any of them. You just get to know their names now. The next time you catch yourself at the mirror 10 at night, half a sentence in, arguing with no one, you'll know which one showed up. The watcher, the editor, the wanderer. Tell me below. 1 word. I read every single one of them, and if you've stayed with me this long, you already know what this kind of mind feels like from the inside. Subscribe, and the next one will find you.